drones of people like filing on to get on in July, or August.
All right.
Doesn't matter. All that matters is who's here.
No, it's awesome. Thank you for all getting on. Okay, so welcome to our team call, you guys. We're kicking off tonight, and our very special guest, who I really am I wanted to do this, Lisa. I didn't tell them who you were, who was coming on. I wanted it to be a mystery.
I hope I'm not a disappointment.
No. But I got to say that the reason, I really wanted you to come on, well, a couple of reasons. First and foremost, none of us would be here if it weren't for you. I wanted to publicly acknowledge that and really give you the credit that you deserve, because we're in the midst of this really amazing climb with so much energy and fun around us, and really, truly, none of it. You laid the foundation. You were the one who inspired me to take a step, and if you hadn't been as successful as you were in the times that you were, then I would never have had the faith to say yes to any of that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for, and I might cry, but for really giving me this life, because it's incredible. And I'm so grateful. So
it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing, and I'm humbled, and I am always very reflective after I get back from a vacation. It's when I come back the most grateful for this business, because it's given my family so much, and, another week full of memories for my daughters and time for all of us. And I feel the same way, Melissa. I feel like I wouldn't have all the experiences that I'm experiencing with my kids getting older if it wasn't for this business, and for all of you guys, and for all of the work that you're doing. And it's just it really is such an incredible thing to know, that because I just kept sharing, and I just kept doing doing the work, that all of you guys, I mean, people that I don't even know, are taking Juice Plus, experiencing Juice Plus, are changing your lives. And it's humbling and it's exciting. And yet I just want everyone to know that you get to do it too. Like, you get to go out and make that kind of an impact. And I feel like we have just, not even, scratched the surface in terms of the impact that we can make. And I'm so excited for all of our futures, and for, all that's to come, because it really is the most exciting time. And it's amazing. I mean, I've been a national marketing director for 9 years this month, which is a long time. And in some ways I feel like, gosh, I should have been doing more, in these 9 years that I have. But on the other hand, a lot has changed in our world, and the way that we do this business, and how we share. And it's been a lot of just adapting to change and the growth. And now I feel like it's all just come full circle, and all of you guys get to take advantage of so much of the positive change that's happened. Everything from technology to our products, to the way that we talk about our products, to, our culture and everything that's around that. So it is just such an exciting time. And I'm just so proud of you, Melissa, and all of the work that you guys have done as a team. I mean, it's really just amazing that I don't have to do anything. It's like, wow. And not that that's a bad thing. I mean, that's a good thing, because that's truly, for you guys, what you want is, you want to set up independent people that can, just share the simple message of health and inspire other people to do the same. And yes, there are skills that you want to learn along the way. And it's just been so awesome, Melissa, to watch you grow your skills and build your confidence, it's everything. I mean, and confidence and belief is everything. And just run with this and not give up, and have a lot of your own life change and evolve and adapt to all of that too. And we're always adapting to change. We're always adapting to different seasons in our life. And yet, this business is always with us. It's, Juice Plus is always with us. And it just can continue to enhance your life and make it better. And that's all it's done for us for all these years. So it's been, this year has just been so exciting with all the promotions, and there's definitely more to come. The next 60 days are going to be really exciting, with many more people climbing up through this marketing plan. And I know, Melissa, your heart is always in the same place as mine. And that's that we just want to help everyone get to where they want to be, and everyone to grow. and achieve their dreams, because it really is possible. Like, it really isn't. And I know that it's hard when you hear those words over and over, but it really, really is possible, and anyone can do it. So it's just the way, it's just really up to you guys, what you guys want to get from this. So Melissa, I know we talked about a couple things, and do you want me just to share my short story a little bit for people that maybe, I mean, I know most of the gang has heard it, but
I think it'd be great for people to get to know you, and hear it again, because so much of what I'm experiencing now, especially, is just, it's all about the stories. Like, it's all about the stories. It's about finding stories that connect with other people, to connect them to an opportunity, just to help bridge them over so that they're open to learning. And so I think that that's our biggest asset, is just collecting all those stories and holding on to them. And then when you meet people that, resonate, or you think, oh gosh, that reminds me of Lisa, then you say, I have this great person in my life that I'd love to introduce you to. And she's been down this road and she's been doing it for a long time. And I'd love to just get you guys together, because I think there's a lot of synergy there, or something,
Right.
But really creating that. It's just such a beautiful tool. And so, yeah, I would love for you to share your story. And I think, if you could expand on too, Lisa, just it has changed a lot. And I want people to really have their respect and understand what you had to go through when you got to National Marketing Director, because it wasn't like it is now. You had to hold it for a lot longer, and and really go for, it was a lot of sustainability at that point, and there's a lot of speed involved with what we do now. But I just think that it's important for people to have respect for that, because I think, and really to understand what the company's done for us to make it easier too.
Right.
Really.
Right. Well, back in the olden days when I heard about Juice Plus, and there was still horse and buggy carriage, and we all used the rotary phone. I swear, I know I'm not even old, and I feel so old when I tell my story, because so much has changed. It's just remarkable to me. But I have been on Juice Plus for 15 years, and I heard about it when my kids were little. And I know, Melissa, you're attracting a very, young mommy oriented team. So for anyone who listens to this story tonight or later down the road, it appealed to me then, because I was working full time, and I did not, and definitely was not feeding my family well. Our health was suffering as a result. I was sick all the time. I was run down, and I was at a place where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was one of those people that was waiting to hear about Juice Plus. I was very open to it. I did not need a lot of education. I heard a couple of snippets of stories from these moms, and my only question was, how do I get it? And how fast can I get it? So just know that there's people like that out there in your world, that woke up today hoping and praying for something to help them with their health. They don't even know what it is yet. So we got on Juice Plus. It turned our health all the way around. I started feeling more energy. I started sleeping better at night. I didn't have to take Ellie, my 3-year-old at the time, she's 3, she's 19 now, to the pediatrician every month for antibiotics. My newborn, the only time she got sick was in between when I stopped nursing her at a year, and I didn't know if I could give her the chewables. Her teeth were sort of, that 1-year-old time, you don't really know. And she got so sick. She was just ear infection, sinus infection, like everything. It was terrible. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not giving her the Juice Plus. And so I started, and truthfully, that was the sickest she'd ever been in her. Looking back, she's really never been that sick since. And, excuse me. So I was grateful for Juice Plus. I took it faithfully, but I wasn't really what you would call a raving fan. And I say that because I didn't have the education. I didn't know about the research behind Juice Plus. I didn't know really anything other than we took it and we liked it and it was good. I was very consumed with my life, which was having a very big full-time job. My background's in PR and marketing. And I had to go to the Bay Area a lot to support my clients. I was supporting startup clients that were funded, and it was our job to launch them into this very hectic, very ever-changing technology world. So I spent a lot of time in the Bay Area, and it was really fun and an exciting career, and I really loved it for a long time. But by the time I had Sophie and she started to get a little older, I realized that this wasn't working for me as a mom. I was stressed about leaving them. I had the full-time nanny. I had the whole deal. And I wanted to change, but I didn't really know how, because I had a very good income, and Phil and I had built a lifestyle around my 6-figure income, and you just don't get rid of that. And so But we took our Juice Plus, and the only reason why I even looked into the business is because I made a decision to quit that job and to go back to consulting and go back to just freelance consulting. I had enough relationships within the industry that I had built that I knew I'd get enough work to, still do well. I could charge a pretty decent hourly rate, and I was willing to take less pay so that I could have more time. I was really looking for time freedom, and I just wanted to be able to, cut back on my nanny or have something change where I wasn't in this rat race anymore. And so I did that, but I still was taking a pay cut, and I looked at the Juice Plus and I thought, you know what, maybe we don't need this anymore. We're healthy, we're well. I had forgotten. And I share that part of my story because it's important that we never take for granted those customers that are just kind of always along the way. Maybe they're just, we think that they're super cool and happy. I mean, this happened to me recently. I had a raving fan move out of the country, and she's like, yeah, I don't think I need my Juice Plus anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, you loved your Juice Plus. But I know she'll be back. But anyway, so I became a rep to get my product at a better cost because I thought, well, I don't want to give it up yet. I'll become a rep. And in that process, I started to really, for the first time, learn about Juice Plus. And I saw it was food. I mean, I knew it was food, but I saw the research. And what really stood out to me as a young mom was Dr. Bill Sears. I mean, I saw that he was an advocate for it and that he put his patients on it. And I thought, wow, if Juice Plus is good enough for him, then, this is good. So I started to do what.
I hope we didn't lose her. Sometimes her reception goes out. Please. I love Zoom, and it's so funny because my phone never works in my house, but the Zoom always works. Let's see, hold on. You dropped. Oh, is that Elise?
No.
No.
Oh, here she comes.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
It didn't like me. Zoom didn't like my story. Sorry. Happens all the time. It really does happen all the time with Zoom. It's the weakest link of Zoom. I'm sorry. So I started to get educated, and I went to events, and I realized I was killing my children. I realized that Juice Plus was amazing. I was like, oh, I'm killing them. Like, I'm giving them hot dogs all the time. I didn't even know. I really didn't know. I wasn't perfect at all. We weren't a perfect family, and as far as eating goes. And so I started to get excited, and I started to tell people because I was listening to things, I was, learning, and that's when I opened my mouth. So, the point of that piece of the story is that, I was intrigued by the stories. I had a good experience, but then I needed the education to take me to the next step, right? So the education got me talking to people, and then that got me interested in this marketing plan, of which I still knew nothing about. And by the way, my sponsor lived in Australia, and back in 2003 when I got started, we didn't have Zoom, we didn't have the technology. It wasn't easy for her to help me, and she was not as available as maybe I would be if I had a new person in Australia. So it was hard for her to support me. She wasn't available a lot. So I was definitely a self-starter, and those people exist as well. And so finally I took myself to a boot camp. I went to the boot camp in Los Angeles, which at the time was a big deal. We don't have them anymore. And that's really when the light bulb went on and when everything changed for me. And I saw regular people. I saw moms on missions. I saw corporate people. I saw doctors. I saw fitness people. And that is really where everything changed for me, is when I went to that event. And I thought, if they can do this, then I can do this. This is everything that I've been looking for. This is time freedom. I can replace that income that I need to have. I can still be with my kids, like everything. I remember driving home, it was raining, and I, was like, this is it. I mean, I'm going to do this. I made the decision to become a national marketing director that weekend. And that is something that, if you want to make this business work, you have to make a decision. You have to decide that you're going to do it and not waver on that decision, and not, I'll try, I'll see what happens. And I know that we hear that from people. And whenever I hear that, I'm like, it's not enough. It's not enough. You've got to be committed to the decision that you are going to do it, because providence will move. The universe will move around you when you make that decision. And, you know, I'm so grateful that that's just kind of how I roll anyway. It's just kind of how I've always done things. When I knew the college I was going to do, I was hell-bent. My dad said, we can't afford it. I said, I don't care, I'm going. When I decided I was going to move to California, I was living in New York City. I didn't have any resources to move to California. All of a sudden this job opened up and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, for people who are on the fence, just, you have to make that decision. And yes, it's scary. And yes, it feels big, but you know, it's worth it. And so 3 years later, I did make national marketing director. So I had been an inactive rep for about 6 months. I didn't really do anything, but after that boot camp, I went to work. And, you know, as you guys know, we get paid for talking to people. And that's what I did. I talked and talked and talked. We didn't have text. We didn't have Facebook. So I did it the old fashioned way. I called people on the phone. I had a lot of events in my house. My house has always been my mecca for my business. And I'm grateful that I have always had Phil's support. He didn't really quite know exactly what was going on at the beginning. He was a little scared because he knew me one way, and that was this corporate professional and all that. So this was definitely out of his comfort zone too, but he thought, okay, well, I'll trust her. So we opened up our home a lot. I'll never forget my first wellness presentation. I had like these huge cardboard poster boards, I swear to God. And we sat in my family room and I had all my neighbors over and I was like, please, you guys come, like, I'll give you wine. And my mother-in-law came, God bless her. And I just read from those boards. I mean, it was just the craziest, funniest thing. And I played a VHS, like the old fashioned VHS things. I put it in my thing. I'm not kidding. Like I'm laughing, sharing the story because I'm not even that old. That's how different it was. So, and that's how I fast tracked and blah, 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 blah. So we got to NMD and, you know, and it is a journey. It's absolutely a journey. And they say it really starts when you get to NMD. So for Melissa, I know it's just starting for you and you have, you know, such an amazing team and there's so much to come from, you know, the team that you have. And the best part of all is watching your team grow and for them to get to their goals and for them to realize their dreams. It really is awesome. And
so explain it like this, Lisa. What came to mind the other day, somebody asked me and they're like, so is that like it? And I was like, no, it's kind of like you just got your college degree. Now you got to go use it, you know? Yep. And the best way I can make that analogy, because now it's being like put to use and I'm being tested. I mean, there's been more growth in this last 2-month period than I think in the last 6 months or 8 months, you know. It's amazing how quickly it just condenses and goes. But
it's amazing. And so a lot changed and a lot changed for our company and a lot changed in the industry. And then of course the recession hit in 2008. And I think what Melissa wants me to share is that when I made national marketing director, you have to have 5 strong sales coordinators. 3 of them need to be in that POB qualification, which means that they're a very strong growing sales coordinator. And you needed to hold your structure. So it's, you know, we call it 5 and 3. You needed to have that structure for 9 months. 9, it was like pregnancy. And so I like to share that because I had an accountability group, and one of those people in my accountability group was Karen Jones. She was going for national marketing director as well. She really was a national marketing director, and she really did get there because I was part of this group, and she was like so determined, and we were all going to get there by Long Beach of 97. 2007. 97, I had my kid. So 2007, and it was Kristen Schultz and Karen and myself. And so Karen made it, and I was a younger distributor. They had started before me, Kristen well before me, and Karen before me as well. So I was a little behind them in terms of my time and my just stability in my business. But I was in a rush. And so Karen got there and she gave her speech in Memphis. And then in March, you know, I looked good. I had my structure. Everything was there. And my partner at the time was Mike Clifton. And I remember he called me and he was like, yeah, Lisa, you're looking really good for Memphis. And I was like, what? I mean, I had a picture in my mind, like I know a lot of you guys do image, and I had this picture of Long Beach, my backyard, my family, friends, like a big party with Kristen. We had gone to Long Beach together and we booked a place to have a party. Like it was like happening. I was there. And they said, no, we need you to hold that structure for 9 months. And I laugh because I say to Karen all the time, it's good thing you're a psychotherapist, because she had to pick me up off the floor. Like I will never forget crying on the phone with her. I was so disappointed. I was so sad. And yet, like in hindsight, it's so like not even a big deal that I didn't make it then. And what was really cool was that I know a lot of you guys don't know the Kleins, but they are part of Wendy Campbell's team. And when I started in Southern California, they all embraced me so much. It's a really awesome sidebar to my story because I didn't have an upline, and because the Cottons, just to clarify, they were not my upline when I started. I know it's kind of confusing, but that's a whole nother story. But they were not my upline at the time. So it's not like they weren't helping me then, because they totally would have. But Rosie and Jerry were this wonderful couple. They lived in Dana Point, 10 minutes down the road from me. They're the most amazing people, and they loved on me. And Rosie and I met at the LA boot camp, and she said, Lisa, I'll help you. I'll help you. And by the way, she had just gotten a Q. So she was not even an NMD yet. And she's like, I'll help you. And she did a lot of three-way calls with me. She coached me. She really taught me to understand the marketing plan. Wendy, always allowed me to come to every event at her home, everything that she did. Deanna too, and Catherine too. Now they've all moved away. And so it was just remarkable. And Rosie's the one that pinned me when I got to NMD. And they asked us to train on the main stage in Memphis on the power of our sideline relationships. And so when I made national marketing director, not only did I give my speech, but I trained on the main stage that conference. So it was all meant to be that it happened the way that it did. But I share that too, because there are disappointments along this journey, and it doesn't just end when you get to NMD. I mean, there's still some disappointments that happen. I'm so much better about disciplining my disappointments now, because I do have the history and I have the wherewithal, and I know that my business is only going to continue to grow and flourish. I don't sweat the small stuff as much as I used to, but I did used to. And so I like to tell, team, don't worry. It's, disappointments will happen. It's how long you live in that disappointment, world, and can get past that and just keep going. And again, it always comes back to how determined you are, how strong your why is, and how badly you want it. Because if you want it badly enough, you'll pick right back up and you'll keep marching ahead, because you've got to. And Melissa's a great example of that too. I mean, she had a lot of life change, and she had a big team change, and she kept going. A lot of people would have just said, nope, it's too hard. I don't want to, keep doing this and rebuild, but she did. And now her team is so amazing. And if you hadn't made that choice, Melissa, you wouldn't have all these amazing people in your life. So it really is great when we can just move past those fears and move past the disappointments and just decide to keep going. So that's my very short, long story.
Hold on.
Is it dinner time?
You already ate dinner. No,
Can
they're
I
being rude now.
serve?
I know. Sorry. We have a little performer in the house. She shows up when the camera goes on.
Yeah, of course. So now instead of before you say that, Melissa, now instead of the structure, just to clarify, you don't have to hold it as long, but you guys get these awesome bonuses, which we didn't get either. It was just like, well, here's your plaque and you get to NMD. So, which I was thrilled with that. I was like, okay, I wanted that. But now there's all this bonus money, which is so great and so cool, but you got to hold your structure, and stability is something that I'm really grateful that the company is focusing on right now, because there has been a lot of speed in the last few years with the emergence of social media and all of our T30 programs and everything that's just fueled the growth that we've had. But I'm a big stickler for stability. You've got to have that foundation set. You want a strong business. You don't want things to fall apart. And so this customer qualification piece that the company is really emphasizing, I'm really supportive of, because it's only going to help you guys have bigger paychecks, more stable paychecks. You know, if you have a couple customers that quit here and there, which they will, I mean, they just will, despite all of your best efforts, it just happens. But when you have a really thick, dense customer base, it's okay. Because unlike so many other business models where if you lose a customer or two, you're in big trouble. I mean, big trouble. And in our business, it's, you know, we feel sadder for them than we do for us, honestly. At least I do. I'm like, well, you're the one missing out. Like I can go get, you know, 2 new customers this week, but I feel bad for you. So that is something that's so unique and so special. And, you know, but I'm really, really a big advocate right now of the stability piece, because I want everyone to have a stable foundation so that you can just, it's like a house, build that stable foundation, have it be strong. So no matter what happens, what storms come about, you're going to have that foundation. And that is the customer base for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in complete agreement. And a lot of people don't know this on the phone, but when I had first started this and fast tracked initially before Francesca was born, you know, we got to just 12 Club, and then it was like we fell backwards so much over the course of the next 8 months that it was heartbreaking, you know, because you think that you get to a certain space, but if you don't build it correctly, then, you know, you're susceptible to that. And that's why all of my coaching has just changed so dramatically from then to now. It's just, you know, you learn so much more, and hindsight is, you know, 2020, but yeah, it's so exciting because I feel like we get it and we're doing the right things and we're building on trios, and, you know, all the other stuff is just super great. It's just gravy and it's fun, and people are having a better experience because, you know, before we used to just offer the red and the green. It was like, you know, that's all we would start there and expand from there. And now we're really leading in with, you know, the trio and the shakes, and they have a better experience and they stay on longer. So, Lisa, I'm so glad you came on, and I know that there's a lot of people that have asked for the recording because they're going to have to patch in later and hear this, but I wanted to get this on camera and just like have it for us and for, you know, for reference, and just be able to really come to you and just get to know you better. We've been moving so fast that there are days when we wake up and go, who is that on the team? We've got so many new people on the team, and you know, it's happening all quickly. So there's a little bit of catch up that's, you know, we have to do from now and then to kind of get ourselves solidified. And I don't even know if you can hear me because you may have dropped off now. But I'm so grateful, really so grateful for everything that you've brought to us, for all the systems you've put in place, for, you know, the tiresome, you know, calls, you know, over all the years. And I'm thanking you for all the, basically just for all the foundation that you laid down that allowed us to step into this space, because without that, I don't think we could have done it as gracefully. And it's really allowed me to see the long-term important pieces, you know, that we all need together. And I feel like it's just like building a house. You know, we have that, and you gave that to us. So I am forever grateful. And thank you for coming on our call.
Oh, Melissa, you're so sweet. Well, I just, you know, I know it sounds cliche. I know we have all these little like catchphrases and stuff, but Ron Watkins is famous for saying this. He's one of our lovely, wonderful VPs, but he always says the best is yet to come. And I really do feel that. I mean, I really just, I know it. I mean, I know that the best is yet to come, and I'm just so proud of everything that you've done, Melissa, in the last year. It's just been amazing. And, you know, you and Danielle just locking arms together and just really just setting the pace for this whole new, you know, era of honeybees that are making a difference. And it's just awesome to watch, and it's humbling to, you know that all I had to do is really open my mouth and get you to Wendy Campbell, because I knew that would eventually just do the trick.
Right.
We all owe so much to her. And any of you guys can have this, you know, this kind of an experience of a lifestyle. And it's so much more than lifestyle. It's so much more about, you know, relationships and friendships and making memories, and just knowing that what we do every single day, it matters. It really does matter. I mean, we really are changing people's lives. We're changing kids' lives. We're changing future generations. And, you know, it's really, really awesome work. And when I was on vacation last week, I read an amazing book that I really recommend. It's called You Are a Badass. And Phil and I fought over it all week long. Sorry. Just in the room.
It's not the worst they've heard, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's all right. And we fought over it all week long. And, you know, over and over and over again. I mean, it just validated so much of the teachings that I've learned over the years and all the image stuff that we've learned, and just like phenomenal. And she's funny and she's hilarious and she's right. And, you know, the one thing is that if you love what you're up to and you know that what you're doing is the right thing, then you can't afford to hold back at all. You really have to go for it. And I feel so grateful that I have found what I love and that we get to go out and do this all the time. And is it always easy? No. But has it made me a better person, a better wife, a better mom? Absolutely. And, you know, I'm so like hungry for the personal change and growth now that I'm like, bring it on, like bring on every challenging opportunity, because I know it's going to make me better. And it does. So for that alone, I want all of that for you guys, because it really does enhance every single part of your life, even if you don't see it yet. I couldn't have predicted that when my kids were little, I would need some of the skills and some of the things that I've learned as an NMD for them to be young adults and to be teenagers, because it's definitely more emotional muscle that I've needed in the last 5 years. And this business has really helped us with that a lot. So I love you guys. And I cannot wait for St. Louis. It's going to be the biggest party ever. It's going to be so fun. So I hope I get to see all of your faces there and hug you there and all in between. And I hope I was a good mystery guest. A scary surprise. And thank you for having me on the call, Melissa.
Thanks so much, Lisa. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys are the best.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you.